the extremes that I've sold so far, I really recommend people to go in a big circle and practice staying in position to the left, like where I'm sitting right here, and really work on getting holding their posture as they're going around in this circle, position, posture, getting their swing like level and that tip down over the back. If you can maintain your position, your posture, your swing, your angle, then all that sets up for your delivery. And then naturally, the reason I developed the Xtreme is so many people have asked me to build something that they could practice their timing on. I want you to watch how the stride of the horse is matching the Xtreme. And I recommend that if you say use this for an hour a day before roping live cattle, that at least half of the time that you would rope in this big circle and not work on your corner for a little bit. Just work on holding your position and getting your timing down pat and getting your delivery. I always try to do it at different speeds. 9 miles an hour first, and then 10, 11, 12, so on. And obviously when you start off, you need to start at the slowest speed that you're comfortable with, to where you can take one swing for every time, for every jump. I've always, since I was a little kid, that was my understanding of timing, is one swing per jump, and that would keep me in perfect sync with my horse and with the steer. So do note also the tip of my rope is going to be passing over his back every time his back's up and them lights are on. One swing per jump. And then as we speed up, I'll have to tighten my swing up a little bit and speed it up a little bit in order to stay in time with it. I was talking about how important it is to rope the feet sharp and get your slack sharp and your galley sharp all in one stride. When you're roping the Xtreme, it really does hold you to a high accountability, because if you're a little bit slow getting your slack, just like a steer, you'll actually kick your rope off. It makes you stay real sharp with your delivering your loop and getting your slack all in the same stride that it's hopping on. So for me, especially the faster it goes, it's challenging to rope it sharp and get my slack and my dally as sharp as I possibly can. We'll speed up a little bit right here. But now I'm going to show you where my position is going down the arena. But I'm going to have to get my shoulder up and dip my rope over, and if you can see really good, hopefully these camera shots will be good enough, you can see where the tip of my rope is going to be pointed right over the tail head. And then all the way through the corner, I keep my tip right over my target, and that lines me up to have the same swing as what we were doing with this big circle. That transition's important, and to me it's important that you don't keep swinging over to the left as you come into the steer, or your target will be over here and your swing will be over there. You want to always have your swing focused over your feet. Be able to see the feet around the corner is so important. If I ever lose vision of the feet, I know I'm too high or I'm in a bad position. He's going to come to the left a little bit, and that's the beauty of being able to do this. You can practice as though a steer is coming off to the left, to where you have to ride a little bit higher. And a lot of people don't realize that when that steer first steps over and heads towards that fence, you have to advance your position a little bit higher to end up hitting lane 2 the way you want. Other things you can do is you can practice going off to the right fence. You can practice a nice smooth corner and then speed up to where, like a steer that's running up the rope, like those of you that struggle, you know, like your partner's pulling him a little bit too fast. I think you need to practice that kind of stuff. This Smarty Xtreme is the fact that it makes a realistic corner because of the tires that I put on it, and it kind of makes a square corner. And obviously, whoever's driving it, you can make it as sharp and difficult of a corner as you want for the guy riding. Sometimes it is good for me to have whoever's driving it give me a real sharp, quick corner, just so that it'll make my horse stay a little bit more on his toes and be watching for it and not just get too complacent. real slow, rounded out corner doesn't challenge a horse at all, where they don't have to get collected. The other thing I'm real proud about is the fact that it doesn't lose its timing in the corner. So I can practice getting up there and riding in an aggressive position, and be timed up in the corner and practice roping it fast. I like my horse to build a pocket into him. And what I mean by that is I like their nose in just a little bit, and I like to put my left leg into their rib cage, and I like to build this pocket into my horse where he's also watching the steer's feet. Like my horse is really working good, it looks like me and him are watching the target, which you think about it, a horse that's got his eyes down on the target, on the back end of the steer, he should be able to hit lane 2 a lot better than if his head is up and his nose is over in the wrong spot. It's one thing I had to work on this horse quite a bit, is shortening my left rein on this particular drill to keep his nose focused in, and use my left leg into his rib cage to keep his shoulder picked up. I like to really make sure that my horse's body is the way I want it, and that helps me to set that up before I go into the run. Well, that's it for my practice session for today. It's amazing, in like 1 hour, you can get a lot of shots in an hour, and you can isolate certain things, the way you're riding, your swing, your delivery, your timing. You can get a lot of really good practice, and the fact that you can do it over and over and over and make little corrections each time, that's how you get good. And I think the thing is, you have to, from one run to the next, make that little adjustment that you need to make in order to constantly get sharper and sharper. And you have to have a vision in your mind of where you're going to take your roping to. And we've already sold quite a few of the Extremes, and I do challenge you guys. It's like the Bowflex, for instance. I told somebody this the other day and they laughed at me, but I watched Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley probably 6 or 7 times, and you know how commercials are. They just keep it in front of you and over and over. And finally I'm thinking, I see all the testimonials of the before and after look of people, and so I had to go ahead and buy me a Bowflex. And sure enough, probably like the other 90% of the world, all I did was hang my sweatshirts and my coats on the Bowflex and my caps, and it didn't do me a bit of good because I didn't use it. And that's my challenge to you, is that, yeah, I'd like you to sell you a Smarty Xtreme to really help your roping, especially your timing. But if you're not going to use it, what's the point in buying it? But I challenge you that if you will buy a Smarty Xtreme and use it an hour or so a day and really make a commitment to your roping, you will take your roping to the next level. Each time you watch my videos, I hope that you get something out of it and get a little more revelation of some part of your roping. So thanks.